Hey everybody, I'm the CEO and founder of SensorTracks. My name is Brian, and I thought I'd walk through today how you do cycle time calculations and cycle time calculation conversions. We have a page on our website that talks about this, and it is probably one of the most looked at pages on the site. It seems like there's a lot of folks that want to understand how to do this. So I thought I'd walk through how to do it in a Excel, and I think we'll make this downloadable too if you guys want to play around with it, because it can do all the different conversions. So we're going to walk through the different formulas for these different cycle times and how they work. So let's fill out some assumptions, right? So first, let's look at parts per minute. So we want to look at how many parts can we produce in a single minute. So let's say we're making 120 parts. Or let's do something easier. So 30 parts in 120 minutes, right? So what's our cycle time? So parts per minute. So that's going to be the number of parts divided by the number of parts divided by minutes. 120. Okay. Parts per minute. So we can do a quarter of a part every minute. So here is the actual formula. So it's parts divided by minutes. Okay. Let's do the same thing, but let's look at minutes per part. So let's say we have 30 parts, and it takes us 120 minutes to make those 30 parts. So how many minutes does it take to make an individual part? So we're going to do parts per minute. So 120 divided by the number of parts. 4, right? So in this case, it's minutes divided by parts. You've seen a pattern here? You can almost take that divide sign and substitute the word per, and you have the formula. So what about parts per second? How would this work? So let's say we're doing 30 parts. And in this case, we could make it really easy, and the formula would be the same here if we said the duration was in minutes. So for example, if this 120 was actually in seconds, the formula would be exactly the same as the top, but it's not. It's 120 minutes that it takes to make these parts. So how many parts are we getting per second? So it's parts per second. So it's definitely going to be parts divided by the time. But we need to turn minutes into seconds. So how do we do that? So we take 120 minutes and we multiply it by 60 seconds per minute, and we get 0.0041 parts per second. Not super valuable. It's a little precise there, but we're dividing parts by, in this case, minutes times 60. Okay. And I put some parentheses around there, even though I think order of operations will take care of that for us. So what about seconds per part? So let's do same number of parts, which is 30. And we're still going to do 120 minutes, so 2 hours. So seconds, so we're going to take time, 120 times 60 to turn minutes into seconds, right? Divided by parts. 30. Sorry. Let's make that a formula. Okay. Divided by 30. 240 seconds per part. All right. So let's do the formula on that one. So it's kind of the reverse of the other one. So minutes times 60 divided by parts, right? Hours per part. How many hours does it take to make one of these parts? Okay, so hours, we're going to take 120. We need to turn it into hours, so we're going to divide it by 60, right? So 120 divided by 60 divided by the number of parts we made, hours per part. 0.06 hours per part. So what was this formula? So we take minutes divided by 60 divided by parts, okay? Now, what if we want to do parts per hour? So we got 30 parts, 120 minutes. So how many parts per hour? So this is going to be parts divided by 120 minutes, divided by 60 to turn that into hours. Boom, parts per hour, 15. We make 30 parts every 2 hours, so divide that in half, and there you go. So what's the formula on this one? It is parts divided by minutes divided by 60 to turn it into hours. So that's how you calculate a bunch of different cycle times using different units of measure. You could do something similar, if the duration wasn't in minutes and it was in seconds, you just have to convert minutes to seconds and seconds to minutes and minutes to hours or seconds to hours, whatever you want to do. And you could play around with the spreadsheet too and change, the number of parts or number of minutes to really figure out, how it affects your overall cycle time. So that is our cycle time tutorial using Excel. Remember, SensorTrax is a manufacturing productivity platform that can do this automatically. So you never have to use a spreadsheet to calculate these things. So check out our website.